Okay, I'll be honest with this one. I picked it up because of the cover. Now, it wasn't just because the ladies on it were lovely, it was also because it immediately made me think of the manga series Record of Ragnarok. I've not read the manga or watched the anime, but I have seen the cover and they were very similar in my mind. I'm assuming the concept might be similar as well, but I do not know that for sure. You tell me. Anyway, The War of Greedy Witches, 32 of the Wickedest Women Duel to the Death is an ongoing manga series with close to 50 chapters. As of right now, only the first volume has released in English containing 4 chapters, and the second volume is scheduled to release in April 2025. To give a quick summary of the series, some spoilers here, we have a group of demons who collect 32 women throughout history, offering them a chance at having their greatest desire granted if they compete in a 1v1 tournament to the death. As of right now, I have only read 7 chapters, which is volume 1 and part of volume 2. This fully covered the first battle, which was chapters 2 through 7. This series really just takes off. The first chapter really just introduces the main character, sets up the story and what's to come, then it's right into the first battle. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the battle and I do enjoy the story so far. I do kind of feel like this is one that you need to turn your brain off with and just enjoy, because as I was reading, I just kept having so many questions. Like, who are these people in the stands? Where'd they come from? Because they clearly know the characters fighting. There is no explanation about that. They just show up. Now, looking at reviews online, overall, they are positive. There were some issues I saw people had with the main character winning fights because she's the main character. People were saying that she should not have won the fights that she did. I've only read the first fight so far. The main character is the next fight, so I can't speak to this complaint just yet, but I can certainly see that being an issue. Ignoring all the questions I kept having and the frequent exposition, this first fight was pretty good because there was no focal main character. Now, I may be asking for the moon here, but I would have preferred a story like this where there wasn't a singular main character and instead just focused on many characters so you don't know who would win. That is sort of how this first fight went. Of course, the character that I thought would win did end up winning, but throughout the fight, we didn't know these characters beforehand, so there were times that I wasn't actually sure. It felt like it could go either way because the first chapter just focused on the main character and setting up the fights, not getting to know the other characters. While we do have the names of who is fighting in the tournament, we have not been introduced to them, and the majority of them we don't even know what they look like. Also, something that did surprise me is that I expected this to be very fan servicey, like clothes ripping off in battle, but that did not happen. At least in this first battle, I can't speak to later, but I will find out. The ladies are certainly wearing tight and revealing outfits, but there wasn't really any crazy fan service shots or scenes. One thing to just keep in mind, don't go into this expecting historical accuracy. I feel like that should be obvious, but I'm going to mention it anyway. For instance, this is Marie Antoinette and this is Cleopatra. Personally, I am interested in continuing this series. I do think it's a pretty good read so far, and I definitely understand the issues people have about the main character and her fights. All that said, I definitely would recommend giving it a read.